Well, the reason that we're here is because we want to hold the oil and gas companies accountable for the catastrophes that are being caused and the consequences of their own actions. And these actions have been known by these companies for some years, and we're joining other cities and states across the country as it relates to the impact of what the gas and oil companies are doing. So with that, I'd like for our city solicitor, who is leading this effort, to share.
Thank you.
Wait, before we do that, I'm sorry. Let me recognize the folks who are here with us. Jerome Stevens is here from Senator Ben Cardin's office. We have Amy Stratton from Congressman Cummings' office. David McMillan, who is the director of the Office of Emergency Management, is here as well. And Jennifer Martin, who is the Deputy Health Commissioner, is also here with us. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, Baltimore City and its law department is stepping up to seek relief for our citizens and our taxpayers for harm done to our infrastructure, our geography, and the quality of life. This lawsuit, which we filed this morning, is aimed to hold the fossil fuel companies accountable for the harm that has been inflicted on our community, harms of various sorts. We brought this lawsuit in 8 different counts or theories in state court, and we intend to prosecute the case vigorously through to the very end. These companies must be held accountable. Climate change is a reality, and these companies have known for decades of both the harm that was likely to result in their profligate use of fossil fuels, and they've known for decades of steps that could have been taken to mediate, reduce some of the harms that are now inflicted upon our communities. Baltimore has suffered, for example, 2,000-year storms in the last couple of years. This is not right. This is not something that we should permit to go uncompensated for. And so we intend to seek relief. You probably know that there have been several other cases of this sort around the country. And in particular, just yesterday, a federal judge in New York dismissed a case similar to this one. But there has been no appellate ruling in any of the cases. And as I said a moment ago, this case will be filed in state court. And I can tell you, Madam Mayor,
Yes.
the founding fathers would approve of this lawsuit. Madison, Jefferson, and Hamilton were Federalists, and they understood that states and localities have a role to play, and state court judges have an important role to play to ensure that justice is delivered to the people. And so just as in the 50s, when federal judges were ruling against steps at desegregating public schools, state court judges in Delaware stood up, looked at the same Constitution that those federal judges had looked at, and found a constitutional violation. What we hope is through this lawsuit to take our claims to state court judges here in Maryland, who we believe will look at the matter afresh and see that we have legitimate claims for compensation. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, for your support in this effort. And we want to extend our thanks to our co-counsel, the Scherer Ebbing Law Firm, which has expertise in this area, but we will be joining with them very vigorously as co-partners in pursuing this lawsuit. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. I think the main focus here for us is that we have to fix and maintain our water system. We have to protect it for the citizens of Baltimore. It costs us thousands and thousands of dollars. We're under federal mandate to fix our water system. And more harm done to our water system costs the city more money. More money ends up being on the backs of the citizens of Baltimore. Our water bills now are as high as they need to be, and certainly in some cases, you will see water bills continuing to rise because we have so much work that needs to be done. And the federal government hasn't even provided us money to do the work that we need to do. And so we're working as hard as we can, as fast as we can, and trying to keep costs down, but realizing that costs still will go up. This is another impact on our water system, and it's an impact on the citizens of Baltimore. And so I want to take a moment to say thank you,
Mayor.
for, one, bringing this lawsuit, but more importantly, thank you for always looking to protect the citizens of Baltimore.
Thank you.
So we'll open it up for questions, unless anybody else has something they'd like to share. I thank my federal partners for joining us as well. We really appreciate your support. We know how hard you all work in Washington to make sure that we get the federal support and the federal dollars that we need. Just yesterday, we were able to get $30 million from HUD. People didn't think it would be done, but it's done, and we're very excited about that in terms of how it's going to help us transform Baltimore and continue to move our city forward. We're open for questions.
Be happy to take any questions.
Yeah, Mr. Davis, do you expect jurisdiction to be vigorously litigated? I know there's been some conflicting rulings by federal judges on public nuisance and whether federal common law controls that.
Yes, we want to be very clear that we are asserting our claims strictly under state law, statutory and common law of Maryland. And so we will be vigorously pursuing those claims and making what we believe to be very strong and persuasive arguments for why this case should be in state court, should remain in state court, and that we have meritorious claims under state law.
How many companies are they listed? I have not had a chance to look at the lawsuit.
The complaint.
What are the companies in the complaint? And you talk about oil and gas. Just if you could just talk to some of the.
Some of the big ones and some not so big ones. There are a total of 26 defendants. Of course, we'll have to serve all of them with the complaint. That will take several weeks, if not a couple of months perhaps, and they will have an opportunity to respond. I should mention that the complaint is on our website, so it's freely available to you even as we speak. But a total of 26 defendants.
Does the city still uses products from these companies, right? Oil, gas?
Yes, the city has trucks and cars that we have to.
We haven't all
But-
gone to feet yet.
I'm sorry?
We all haven't gone to feet yet, and we're not all riding on the birds that are flying around the city.
Because of the lawsuit, does the city now look at, okay, is the city part of the issue as well, because you are using the products that you're claiming are causing the problems?
So what's the question?
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
if the
you
city is
can't-
using oil and gas, and you're going to have oil and gas companies, okay, you're using those products
Well,
to fuel cars, is that part of the problem as well?
The problem is that the companies knew of the harm decades ago, hid the likelihood of the harms from the people. They had experts who were advising them. This will all come out in the lawsuit. It's already alleged in the complaint. And you will see that these companies hid knowledge of the harms from elected officials, from ordinary citizens, and refused to disclose the information that if it had been disclosed, the problem of climate change could have been mitigated significantly. That's our claim. We have expert testimony to offer in support of those claims, and we'll see what the judge and the juries that we hope to get before think of our claims.
So when you come up with some alternative fuels, let us know.
Well, that's what
Okay.
I'm wondering, is the city looking for other alternatives in
We-
this case then? Because
But we're
you're
looking,
going after them.
let me just say, that doesn't preclude you from going after those who are continuing to harm, our communities. The fact of the matter is that we fuel cars and buses and everything with gas and oil. I mean, that's a reality. I think this lawsuit talks about the history of what some people would consider to be just withholding information. I'm sure that as they continue to look at this, they will also look at alternatives in terms of how we begin to fuel cars or at least dilute the impact that it's having on our community. Certainly we're building bike lanes all over the city, but we know everybody can't bike all over the city either. But we're trying to be as convenient as we possibly can. Now we got these other things flying through the city, ride share, all of those things to try to mitigate the problems that we're all facing. This is not exclusive to Baltimore City. This is something that's happening throughout our nation and the world. So anyway, happy Artscape.